Hey guys, it's Adele. Welcome back to my channel where we are audaciously hopeful about our beautiful lives because we deserve that. Our mission to live out our God-given greatness is urgent, and we do not give up around here. So today we're going to talk about being an immigrant, dealing with immigrants, and the current state of the world. So go ahead and hit like and subscribe to join our tribe, and let's get started. Protein soda with ice that has already melted. So guys, are any of you Lord of the Rings fans? Do you remember the scene where the elves are fighting the men and they're fighting the dwarves and they're fighting the hobbits? These four types are all fighting each other when suddenly they look up on the hill and they see the goblins and the orcs are coming, right? So before then they're like, kill him, kill him. And then they see like this enemy and they're like, my brother, I will fight and stand beside you, okay? They see the greater threat and they decide to join forces. And guys, this is what we need to be doing now, okay? And the orcs and the goblins on the hill are not aliens. They're not each other, right? They're trying to convince people that, like, you know, it's the illegal immigrants that are causing the problem, right? Fight them, right? Who did that? The politicians, the rich people, the Justin Trudeau taking your $100,000 to go to Jamaica on a private plane with his friends, so concerned about climate change, right? They're the ones pointing, look at them, it's them, it's them. And it's a lie. They are the goblins and orcs, okay? That we need to watch out for. And you know, I am an immigrant here in Mexico, okay? And while I have had the majority of good experiences, like some of the best social experiences in my life, like very healing things, I have also, like, there have been people who have said like, Mexico's for Mexicans. Or one time I went into a store and the lady was like, what are you doing in this country? In Spanish, right? I didn't really understand, but after I left I was like, oh yeah. She's like, en este país, like, you know, and she was like asking me these questions, young girl, you know, with a face like John Leguizamo. And you know, when I was working, you know, I've had many public facing jobs in Canada, especially when I was working in retail in a major city. You know, we would get more and more people who like didn't speak English, who wanted help. And you know, this was before the days of Google Translate. I always did my very best to help them. I would like mime things and like try to ask questions. You know, you really kind of learn that people are just people. We do have a lot of cultural differences. Ideally, we should all be living together with people who look, act, and think like us and not be, you know, all thrown in together. But that's what we've got to work with now, and everything's being shaken out, okay? These are wicked times, and those of us who can make it through, we will see the golden age. Right, humanity is in the fourth, you know, we're going through the fourth turning. The one that comes after that is the golden age. It's just like seasons. It has to happen, okay? You have these seasons that humanity goes through, and we're in the worst one now. The good, amazing, great one is coming. And hopefully those of us who make it to that stage will be the kind that will set the stage so it will be better for the generations that come, right? Right now we're dealing with what the previous generations who had it good have left for us. The scraps, the crumbs, the crumble, okay? Oh my God, it's 34 degrees here. But I'm lucky I have a bit of shade, I have some trees, I have a bit of a breeze, it's quiet. I can breathe. You know, I would have been completely destroyed if it hadn't been for, I don't want to cry, but for my Mexican friends helping me through so many fucking things here, man. Like when I had to go to the hospital in the middle of the night, y'all, I called up my friends. They were at my house within 10 minutes. Can you imagine if I had to go to the hospital in a foreign country by my damn self, not speaking the language? I honestly had no idea what I was going to do, guys. They took me to the hospital. The hospital saw me for free. They x-rayed me for free. It was kind of funny because, you know, things in Mexico are very sometimes, especially the medical system, in my experience, it's like very efficient, but it's like not up to the standard of Canada and everything else. You know, they just walked us into the room. It's like, okay, put your hand here on the x-ray machine. And my friend is like standing right there. And he's like, are either of you pregnant? And we're like, no. He goes around the corner, presses the button, and comes back. Like, you know, in Canada, like, they take people out. They got to put on the lead vest. They go into the special room. In Mexico, they're like, yeah, here you go. You know, it was like so efficient. We were in and out of that emergency room in 2 hours. Go ahead and tell me when that has happened to you in Canada in the last 10 years. When my cat had to go to the vet as an emergency, you know, like her arm is like swelling out of nowhere, like her infection. And I'm like, oh my God, you know, Mexican friends were there for me. So I know that things are like getting super annoying with people in Canada. The tensions are high with the immigrant situation there as well. Things are getting tense here in Mexico too. Things are getting tense all over the world. People are becoming more nationalistic, right? When stresses increase, people tend to close down. They want to tighten their circles. They want to keep people out. Always remember, the enemy is not who you think it is, okay? Unless your neighbor is Jeff Bezos, they are not your enemy. They have the same struggles as you do. And if you can team up with them, overcome things, we can weather the storm together. That's what I would love to see. And it's difficult. You know, you really gotta friggin' meditate, man. Like, you know how you've been thinking about meditating all this time? You kind of did it every once in a while. You're like, this sucks, I don't want to do it. Like, now is the time to use all of the tools that all these YouTube videos we've been watching all these years, I kind of haven't really taken action on them. You need to be using them now, okay? Just like in the morning and at night, find like a 7-minute meditation that you like and listen to it. That's it. You know, watch your caffeine intake that makes you anxious. Go and do some exercise. Get that out of your system. Get the aggression out. Get near water. Get in water if you can. That really cleans out, you know, your energy centers. Because like stuff is just going crazy now, guys. And it's like weird. I look back at my whole life. I was like really made for these crazy ass times. And a lot of you were too. You're kind of forged in fire. And that happens for a reason. Thank you so much for your response to my last video about the mixed experiences of being an immigrant in a new country. Guys, when was that ever an easy experience, right? You have all these YouTubers and people who are like, look at me on the beach, you know, I got the margaritas, ooh, right? No, being an immigrant has always been a really difficult challenge. Many of these people go back home to the US. Yeah, if you really want to make it, and if you are an immigrant, either in Canada or like in Mexico, I guess here's like my kind of advice is like, you're gonna see like a lot of people telling you like, blend in. You know, when in Rome, right? When in Rome, do as the Romans do. I mean, to some degree. But don't be afraid to be different. Bring a little bit of your spice, a little bit of your knowledge or your learnings to your countrymen, but definitely learn the things that are different from your country socially. And so you're not like going around offending people and being a clown. You know what I mean? Because it's like very annoying. And like one thing in Mexico is you just gotta be like friggin' patient. You know what I mean? Like I realized that right away. I'm like, I called you to come to my house, like do my service, like bring me my water, whatever. Like, where are you? And like, yeah, we're mañana, we're gonna be there soon. I'm like, what? So I'm just supposed to sit around and like wait? It's like, yeah, that's how things go here. But guess what? One day I had a package that was delivered. The guy called me and he's like, hey, I got your package, you know, in Spanish. I'm trying to understand. And I was like, I'll be home in like 10 minutes. And I thought that he would like come back or whatever, right? So I'm like walking 15 minutes to get back home, whatever. And tell me in which country this would ever happen. I get there and he was sitting there in his truck waiting for me. And he smiled, Adelle, handed me the package. You know, and I was like, he just patiently fucking waited for me. And he was like happy about it and not like stressed and rushed, because like people just know that's how things go here. And I'm like, I think I might prefer that actually. Also want to thank those of you who have been purchasing my ebooks. You know, these are my life's work. I take the worst things from my life and I turn them into entertaining, heartbreaking, inspiring stories, and they help fuel my life, right? This is part of how I pay my bills, but it also really inspires other people and shows them what's possible for them in the realm of personal growth as well as profiting from digital products. Thanks once again so much for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.